Kira's heart stopped as Olive's lips brushed hers in the dim corner of the crowded reunion hall. A stolen moment that ignited years of buried longing. But when her fiancé walked in and saw it all, the world shattered. Accusations flew and Kira's perfect life unraveled in an instant. She stood frozen, the taste of betrayal lingering, knowing this kiss wasn't just a mistake. It was the truth she'd been running from. Kira replayed that night over and over in her mind as she drove home from the high school reunion in suburban Chicago. Why had she let it happen? Olive, her childhood best friend, the one who'd always been there through awkward braces and teenage heartbreaks, had shown up looking effortlessly confident in a tailored blazer and jeans. They'd laughed about old times, shared stories of their separate lives, Kira's stable job as a marketing executive, her upcoming wedding to Mark, a kind but predictable accountant. Olive, on the other hand, had built a career in graphic design in New York, living freely unapologetically herself. But as the evening wore on, the alcohol loosened inhibitions, and Olive's hand on Kira's arm felt like electricity. "I've missed you," Olive whispered, her eyes holding a depth that made Kira's stomach twist. In that moment, Kira leaned in, driven by an impulse she couldn't name. The kiss was brief, tentative, but it flooded her with a warmth she'd never felt with Mark. And then the door swung open. Mark's face went pale, his eyes wide with shock and hurt. "Kira? What the hell?" The ride home was silent, Mark gripping the steering wheel so tight his knuckles turned white. Kira's mind raced. How could she explain this? It wasn't planned, it was inevitable? No, that sounded crazy. She thought back to their childhood in the quiet neighborhood of Evanston, where she and Olive had spent endless summers biking to the lake, sharing secrets under starry skies. Olive had always been the bold one, the alpha, as their friends joked, leading adventures while Kira followed, safe in her shadow. But there were moments, sleepovers where their hands brushed, glances that lingered too long, that Kira had dismissed as nothing. Now at 28, those moments haunted her. Mark finally spoke as they pulled into their driveway. "Is this who you are? Have you been lying to me?" His voice cracked and Kira felt a pang of guilt so sharp it stole her breath. She loved Mark, or at least the idea of him, the stability, the approval from her conservative parents who adored him. But that kiss, it felt right in a way nothing else had. "I don't know," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I think I need time." The next morning, Kira called in sick to work, curling up on the couch with her phone. Texts from Olive flooded in. "I'm sorry if I pushed too far. But Kira, that wasn't nothing. Call me." She stared at the screen, her inner voice screaming. What if this ruins everything? Her family, devout Catholics, had raised her with clear expectations. Marry a good man, have kids, live the American dream. Coming out? That wasn't in the script. She imagined her mother's disappointed eyes, her father's silent judgment. Society and their tight-knit community whispered about those people, and Kira had always nodded along, afraid to question. But doubt crept in. Was her life with Mark truly hers, or just a performance? She thought of Olive's life in New York, out and proud, surrounded by friends who accepted her. Envy mixed with fear. Kira paced the living room, her mind a whirlwind. If she pursued this, what would she lose? Mark had already packed a bag, saying he needed space. "I can't compete with your past," he'd said bitterly. The word past stung. Olive wasn't just history. She was a part of Kira that had never faded. By afternoon, Kira drove to her parents' house, seeking solace but dreading confession. Her mom, busy in the kitchen, hugged her tightly. "You look exhausted, honey. Wedding jitters." Kira forced a smile, but inside turmoil brewed. How could she tell them? The pressure mounted as her dad joined, talking about grandkids. Each word felt like a chain tightening. That evening, alone in her childhood bedroom, Kira whispered to herself, "What if I'm gay? What then?" The question hung heavy, unanswered. Days blurred into a haze of avoidance. Mark called, demanding answers. "Is it over?" he asked. Kira hesitated, her heart torn. She met Olive for coffee in a neutral cafe downtown, the air thick with tension. Olive reached across the table. "I've felt this way since we were kids. But I never said anything because you seemed so straight." Kira laughed bitterly. "I thought I was." Their conversation delved deep. Olive sharing her coming out story, the rejection from her own family, the freedom that followed. Kira envied her courage, but fear held her back. My parents would disown me, she confessed. As they parted, Olive's words echoed. You deserve to be happy, Kira. Even if it costs. Back home, Kira stared at her engagement ring, slipping it off. The metal felt cold, foreign. Her mind raced with what-ifs. Losing her job if rumors spread, friends turning away. But suppressing this truth? That might destroy her more. The internal conflict raged, loyalty to family versus self-honesty. She decided to test the waters, confiding in her sister Lena over the phone. Lena's response was cautious. Kira, are you sure? Mom and Dad. They'll freak. The words amplified Kira's dread, but also sparked defiance. Why should she hide? That night she dreamed of Olive, of a life unbound. Waking, she texted Mark. We need to talk. The decision loomed, heavy with consequence. Kira's conversation with Mark unfolded in their shared apartment, the space feeling smaller than ever. He sat across from her, arms crossed, eyes searching for the woman he thought he knew. So it's Olive? Your friend. The accusation in his tone made Kira flinch. She nodded slowly, the admission tasting like acid. It's not just her. It's me. I think I've been denying who I am. Mark's face crumpled, a mix of anger and sorrow. And what about us? 3 years, Kira. Was it all a lie? Guilt washed over her. No, it wasn't a lie, at least not intentionally. She'd convinced herself that Mark was the safe choice, the one who fit the mold her life was supposed to follow. But now cracks appeared in that facade. I love you, but not like that, she whispered. He stood abruptly, pacing. You owe me better than this. The words stung, and Kira wondered if she did. Had she used him as a shield against her own truths? The thought made her nauseous. After Mark left for a hotel, Kira's isolation deepened. She avoided calls from her parents, burying herself in work emails to distract from the void. But Olive's presence lingered in her thoughts. They met again, this time at a park bench overlooking Lake Michigan, the wind carrying hints of freedom. Olive listened as Kira poured out her fears. Society sees us as wrong, Kira said, voice trembling. My job, my family, they expect normalcy. Olive's hand found hers. Normal is overrated. But I get it. Coming out cost me friends, jobs even. Their talks revealed layers of Olive's past. Her parents' cold shoulder after she came out in college, the therapy sessions to heal. Kira admired her resilience but questioned her own. What if I'm not strong enough? She thought, staring at the waves. Internal monologues plagued her. You're selfish for wanting this. But staying hidden? That's cowardice. The moral dilemma gnawed, betraying Mark's trust versus betraying herself. Word spread subtly. A mutual friend texted. Heard about the reunion. You okay? Kira's paranoia grew. Whispers at work made her wonder if colleagues knew. She confided in her boss, framing it as personal issues, but the strain showed in her performance. One night alone she researched online, stories of women like her, late bloomers facing backlash. Some lost everything. Others found peace. The contrast fueled her indecision. Pressure from family mounted when her mom called. Mark says you're fighting. Fix it, sweetie. He's perfect for you. Kira's throat tightened. How could she reveal the truth? The deception weighed heavy, a mouth-watering duck that twisted her gut. She decided to visit Olive's apartment in the city, seeking clarity. The space was vibrant, filled with art that screamed authenticity. They talked late into the night, Olive sharing vulnerabilities. I pushed you at the reunion because I couldn't hold back anymore, she admitted. Kira felt a pull, but doubt crept in. Was this love or rebellion? Her mind debated. Pursue happiness at the cost of hurting others? Or sacrifice for peace? As dawn broke, they shared a tentative embrace. No more, but it stirred something profound. Leaving, Kira felt alive yet terrified. Back home, confrontation awaited. Lena showed up unannounced. Mark told me everything. Her sister's eyes held judgment mixed with concern. This isn't you, Kira. Think about Mom and Dad. The words ignited anger. Maybe it is me. Kira snapped. The argument escalated. Lena warning of family fallout. They'll see it as a sin. Kira's defiance grew, but so did the fear of isolation. Days later, at a therapy session Kira booked secretly, the counselor probed gently. What do you want? Kira hesitated. To be free. But freedom's price loomed: potential disownment, social ostracism. She thought of Olive's strength, envying it. Internal conflict peaked. Right or wrong? Society's norms versus personal truth. Olive invited her to a support group for LGBTQ women. Reluctant, Kira went. Stories shared there mirrored her own. Women torn by duty and desire. One spoke of losing her kids in custody battles due to bias. Another of workplace discrimination. The realities hit hard, amplifying Kira's stakes. Yet seeing Olive thrive inspired hope. Tension built as Kira's parents sensed something amiss. A family dinner turned interrogative. "Where's Mark?" her dad asked. Kira evaded, but her mom's intuition sharpened. "You're hiding something." The evening ended in unease, Kira's mind screaming for escape. That night Olive called. "I can't wait forever, Kira." The ultimatum, though gentle, forced a choice. Kira lay awake weighing loyalties. Betray family traditions? Or betray her heart? The drama intensified, decisions looming like storm clouds. Kira's world tilted further when her father confronted her directly, his voice booming over the phone. "Mark called. Said you're seeing someone else. A woman." The shock in his tone was palpable, laced with disbelief and anger. Kira's denial faltered. Lies crumbled under pressure. "Dad, it's complicated," she managed. He hung up, leaving her in silence, the weight of impending judgment crushing. The family meeting that followed was a battlefield. Gathered in the living room of her parents' home, Kira faced them all, mom weeping, dad stern, Lena mediating. "How could you do this to us?" her mom cried. "We raised you better." Kira's inner voice rebelled. "Better than what?" "Honest." But aloud she explained, voice shaking. "I love Olive. I've always felt this way, but I was scared." Her dad's response cut deep. "This is a phase. Society will destroy you. Think about your future." The words echoed societal prejudices she'd internalized. Whispers in church about unnatural lifestyles, news stories of discrimination. Kira argued back, drawing on stories from the support group. "It's not a choice. It's who I am." But her parents' resistance stemmed from love twisted by fear. "What about grandkids? Our legacy?" Her mom pleaded. The mouthwandowduk surfaced. "Honor parents or honor self." Olive offers support from afar, texting encouragement. "You're brave. But only if you're ready." Kira questioned her readiness. At work, rumors circulated. A colleague's sideways glance made her paranoid. She confided in a trusted coworker, who sympathized but warned. Corporate America is not always progressive. The professional risk added layers to her turmoil. Internal debates raged. Sacrifice for family harmony? Or fight for authenticity? Kira visited Olive, seeking solace. They walked through Central Park. "Wait. No, this is Chicago." "Scratch that." Through Millennium Park, the bean reflecting their distorted images. "I feel like I'm betraying everyone," Kira confessed. Olive's eyes softened. "Including yourself?" The question pierced, forcing Kira to confront her self-betrayal. A turning point came when Mark returned for his things. "I still love you," he said, eyes misty. "But I can't be second choice." Kira's guilt surged. She'd hurt him deeply. "I'm sorry," she whispered. His departure felt final, a door closing on her old life. Family pressure escalated. Her dad emailed articles on conversion therapy, igniting fury. "You think I'm broken?" she shot back in a call. The argument exploded, words like disgrace hurled. Kira hung up, tears flowing. Isolation gripped her. Friends divided, some supportive, others distant. Olive's past resurfaced in conversations. "My family cut me off for years," she shared. "But I rebuilt." Kira envied that but feared the cost. Moral quandaries deepened. Is love worth the pain inflicted? At another support group, a woman shared her story of reconciliation after years. Hope flickered, but Kira's doubt persisted. What if they never accept? She thought. Tension peaked at a community event where Kira and Olive appeared together. Whispers followed. An old acquaintance confronted. This isn't right. Kira defended fiercely, adrenaline surging. But inside, vulnerability cracked her. Home alone, Kira journaled her thoughts. The price of truth is high, but lies cost more. Decisions crystallized, she couldn't go back. Yet betrayal loomed. Lena revealed she'd told extended family, sparking outrage. I was worried, she claimed. Kira felt violated, trust shattered. You had no right. The sibling rift widened, adding to the drama. Olive comforted her, but strains showed. Are you in or out? Olive asked gently. Kira's indecision tested their bond. As conflicts mounted, Kira faced a mirror moment. Who am I without their approval? The answer terrified yet liberated. The betrayal hit like a freight train when Kira discovered Lena had leaked details to Mark's family, fueling a social media storm. Anonymous posts on local forums labeled her homewrecker, twisting facts into scandal. Kira's phone buzzed incessantly, hateful messages from strangers, sympathetic ones from allies. How could you? One from a cousin read. Her mind spiraled. This is the price. Damage control seemed impossible. At work, the fallout manifested. Her boss called her in. Personal issues affecting performance? Kira nodded, fighting tears. A demotion loomed if she didn't focus. Society's judgment infiltrated every corner. Clients canceling meetings, colleagues whispering. She thought bitterly. All because I love a woman. Olive faced backlash too. Her New York clients questioned her professionalism after rumors spread. This affects us both, she said over video call, voice strained. Kira's guilt compounded. Am I worth this? Their relationship, nascent and fragile, cracked under pressure. A direct confrontation with her parents ensued. Driving to their house, Kira steeled herself. I won't change, she declared upon arrival. Her dad's face reddened. Then don't come back. The ultimatum shattered her. Her mom's sob caught in between. We love you, but this. Kira left in tears, the door slamming like a finality. Internal torment peaked. Right choice? Or selfish destruction? She sought therapy again, unpacking layers. You're grieving the life you thought you'd have, the counselor said. Kira nodded, realizing the depth of her loss. Olive arrived in Chicago, offering presents. They spent days navigating emotions. No physical intimacy, just raw talks. I've lost family before, Olive shared. It hurts, but you survive. Kira clung to that, but doubt lingered. Social circles fractured. Friends hosted intervention dinners, urging reconciliation with family. Think about tradition, one said. Kira snapped. Tradition that suffocates? Alliances shifted, isolation deepening. In a moment of weakness, Kira considered backing down, calling Olive to end it. Maybe we're a mistake. Olive's response. That's fear talking. The call ended tensely, their bond tested. Damage extended to health. Stress-induced migraines, sleepless nights. Kira visited a doctor, prescribed meds for anxiety. Heal from what? She pondered. From societal wounds. Awakening glimmers appeared. Support from unexpected quarters. An aunt who came out privately, offering advice. Fight for you. Kira's resolve strengthened, but costs mounted. Climax built as family gathered for a holiday without her. Excluded, Kira spent it with Olive, bittersweet. This is my new family, she questioned inwardly. Betrayal's sting faded into determination. Kira publicly addressed rumors on social media. I'm gay. Deal with it. Backlash ensued, but empowerment surged. Yet the price, lost relationships, career setbacks. Moral debates raged. Was truth worth the wreckage? Kira's awakening crystallized in small acts of defiance. Attending pride events, rebuilding networks. But scars remained. Months after the initial kiss, she reflected on the journey. From denial to acceptance, at what cost? Family ties mended slowly. Her mom reached out tentatively. I miss you. Kira's response. Miss the real me? Progress but fragile. Olive and she navigated their relationship carefully, building on honesty. We paid dearly, Olive said one evening, as they sat in Kira's new apartment. Kira nodded, mind flashing to losses. Mark's forgiveness never came. Career pivoted to a more accepting firm. Society's gaze softened in progressive circles, but prejudices lingered elsewhere. Internal peace grew, though questions persisted. Did I choose right? The moral ambiguity haunted, harming others for self-fulfillment. Reconciliation attempts with Dad failed initially, his stubbornness mirroring hers. Time heals. Lena advised, their sibling bond repairing. Kira volunteered at LGBTQ centers, channeling pain into purpose. Stories she heard echoed hers, reinforcing. Change demands sacrifice. Highs and lows intertwined. A promotion came, affirming her worth. But nightmares of rejection recurred. Therapy helped unpack. You're not the villain. Yet guilt over Mark lingered. Olive's support was anchor. We faced the storm, she whispered. Kira felt gratitude but pondered the what-ifs. A straight life uncomplicated. No, that was illusion. As the year turned, Kira hosted a small gathering, new friends, Olive by her side. Laughter filled the air, a contrast to past isolation. But echoes of damage reminded, choices have consequences. In quiet moments, Kira journaled. The price was steep, broken trusts, shattered illusions. But freedom? Priceless. Society evolved slowly, her story a ripple. Family breakthrough came when Dad called. Let's talk. Tentative but hopeful. Kira's heart swelled. Redemption possible? The journey taught. Love defies norms but at a cost. Moral lines blurred, right for one, wrong for another. Was sacrificing family bonds for personal truth ultimately the ethical choice? Or a selfish act disguised as bravery?